Welcome to this series of Bible studies prepared by Salvation Army women from around the world who strive to put their faith into practice. The theme of these studies is transformed into God's image. We believe that anyone who puts their faith in Jesus can be transformed. My name is Sandra Pawar, and I am from the USA. I would like to share with you the 9th in this series of 12 studies. Each study includes 4 sections to help you explore and discover more on the theme. Under the heading Transformed in Our Acts of Social Justice, these are my thoughts based on the book of Proverbs chapter 31, verses 8 and 9, and Micah chapter 6, verse 8. This is what the verses in Proverbs say. Speak up for those who cannot speak for themselves and for the rights of all who are destitute. Speak up and judge fairly. Defend the rights of the poor and needy. Our key verse is from Micah. He has shown you, O mortal, what is good and what does the Lord require of you, to act justly and to love mercy and to walk humbly with your God. Our key verse of Scripture is often considered one of the most comprehensive statements of what God asks of us in the Bible. In this statement, Micah asks a simple question: what does God require of us? At the beginning of chapter 6, we see that the people of Israel had not yet come to understand that the authentic and true way to come before the Lord is personal conversion and not through blood sacrifices. In verses 6 and 7 of this chapter, we read that the Israelites believed that they needed to make material sacrifices in order to enjoy God's delight and a personal relationship with Him. They are struggling with the question of what will please God, and they believe the answer is found in their material sacrifices. Yet Micah points out that even though they may have made the most extravagant sacrifices over and over again, they were not living the rest of their lives the way God wanted, and therefore their sacrifices became pointless. They had come to a place where outward shows of religion had become more important than their actual relationship with God. Although Micah poses the question, what does God require of us? He is aware that they already know what is expected of them. It is written in the Word and has been pointed out many times before. In verse 8, Micah reminds them that what God really desires of them is a change of heart, a change in attitude, and a change toward both God and their neighbors. Micah desperately wants them to understand that our relationship with God is personal and involves a heart transformation, not material sacrifices or extravagant shows. So what does it mean to act justly? It means to demonstrate fairness and honesty and integrity in all our dealings. It means we do what is right and fair, and we fight for what is right on behalf of others. We must bravely face the various injustices facing people around the world and be prepared to act justly on their behalf. As we read in Proverbs chapter 31, verses 8 and 9, speak up for those who cannot speak for themselves, for the rights of all who are destitute. Speak up and judge fairly. Defend the rights of the poor and needy. What does it mean to love mercy? One definition of mercy is compassion or forgiveness shown towards someone whom it is within one's power to punish or harm. In the world, we daily see men and women and children who are being harmed by others. It is not just important that we speak up for them, but that we also pray for mercy for those who cause harm. How often do you pray for the perpetrators, for those that sell or buy women and children, for those that abuse or inflict harm upon people? It is hard to show mercy to those people. But if we want to see God's justice come about in this world, we need to pray both for those being harmed and those doing the harm. In Ezekiel chapter 22, verse 30, it is said that when we stand in the gap and show mercy and pray for mercy, victory after victory is won. And what does it mean to walk humbly with our God? To walk implies movement. It means your relationship with God is not stagnant, but growing and developing. To walk humbly with God means to be in submission to God and be willing to walk where He wants you to walk. When it comes to issues of justice, it means walking with God amidst opposition and injustice, yet continuing to move forward towards justice because you know He is walking alongside you. Isaiah chapter 41 verses 10 says, "So do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand." Here are some questions for you to think about or discuss in a group. It is suggested that you pause to reflect after each question. Perhaps writing down your thoughts might be helpful. When you have considered all the questions, listen to the concluding statement, which will help you put into practice what you have heard. Question 1. Can you name one form of injustice being faced by people around the world today? When you've done so, write down how you will act justly on their behalf. Question 2. Thinking of that same form of injustice, how will you show mercy to the perpetrators? Question 3. How do you think acting justly and showing mercy can transform your walk with God? Read Proverbs 31, 8-9 each day this month, and then ask God to give you opportunities to act upon it. My husband and I are currently core officers of the Southwark Corps in London, UK. Issues of social justice are close to my heart. I've seen how showing justice and mercy to people has brought about incredible transformation in my own walk with Jesus and has changed the way I minister. Our next study is about being transformed in our spiritual journey.